All right, well, we're going to start off our soloing with 4 short licks. This is going to be using the A minor pentatonic scale. So check out the licks with the backing track, and then we'll come back and break them down. So here's the first solo. So here we're starting off nice and easy with the A minor pentatonic scale in 5th position. This will be the most common position to play this scale. There were 4 licks. The first lick goes like this. So I'm going to start off with a whole step bend from the 7th fret of the G string, then play the 5th fret of the B string, 5th fret of the high E string. Back to the B string now, pull off 8 to 5. G string 7, back to 5 on the B string. Now to the G string, bend up a whole step from the 7th fret, release the bend, pull off to the 5th fret. Now we're going to go back to our root note A, which is found on the 7th fret of the D string. With the 3rd finger, we're then going to pivot to the 7th fret of the G string and then back to the 7th fret of the D string. The final 2 notes will be the 5th fret of the G string, which we're going to bend up just slightly, roughly a quarter step, before playing 7 on the D string. So that quarter step bend is a very bluesy idea which Jimmy Page uses quite frequently. Just adds a little flavor to the lick. So if we put all of these notes together, we have lick number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's lick number 2. It's kind of an answer to lick number 1. We're going to start off with a 3-note phrase that repeats, hammering on 5 to 8 on the B string, followed by 5 on the high E string. We'll play those 3 notes 3 times. Now to the high E string, pull off 8 to 5, 8 on the B string, back to 5 on the high E. Now to the B string, pull off 8 to 5, 7 on the G, and we'll end this lick by sliding from 8 to 10 on the B string. So this idea ends on the root note A. 10th fret of the B string. The first idea ended on the note A on the 7th fret of the D string. This idea ends on the 10th fret of the B string. So once again, here's lick number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's lick number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this idea also starts off with a repetitive phrase. I'm going to play 3 notes 5 times, and those 3 notes are going to be a hammer-on from 8 to 10 on the B string, followed by 8 on the high E string. I'll play those 3 notes 5 times. Now back to the 10th fret of the B string. Now to the high E string, pull off 10 to 8, followed by 10 on the B string. Now 8 on the high E, pull off 10 to 8 on the B, 9 on the G, back to 8 on the B, Now I'm going to slide from 9 back to 7 and then pull off to 5 on the G string. Following this, 7 on the D string, pivot with your third finger, 7, pull off to 5 on the G string, and we'll end on the note A, 7th fret of the D string. So if we put all of those notes together, here's what we've just played. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's the final lick of this first solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we're going to start by sliding from 7 to 9 on the G string and then play 8 on the B string. Back to the G string, 9, slide back to 7, pull off to 5, down to 7 on the D string, and then 5 on the G string. So here's what we've played so far. And then we're going to repeat all of those notes. And now here's lick number 4 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well there you have the first 4 licks, and that gives us our first solo. So have some fun jamming along with the backing track. Use some of those licks, or of course, feel free to improvise with the backing track and come up with some licks of your own. So there's the first solo.